Hello out there, wherever you are. As for me, it's the first Tomwashere of 2023, and I could think of no better than heading down to PPG Paints Arena, but not to catch the Penguins. No, for seeing someone that, and this may be tough. This is going to be very tough for people either a lot older or a lot younger to understand. The person I'm going to see today, in the 90s, when you turned a teenager in the 90s, this person was the funniest person on the planet. And I'm talking about Adam Sandler. I know. To the young among us and to the extremely old among us, they don't understand. But if you were in the 90s, if you turned teenager in the 90s, that wheelhouse of SNL, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, that world right there was Adam Sandler, and the CD, of course, the Goat and Toll Booth Willie and et cetera, and et cetera. But yeah, Adam Sandler was that guy. And look, in the last few years, I understand some of the movies have not been great. Some of them have not been good. Some of them have been pretty bad. I know a lot of you were not raised on, say, like a Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore, and you may have seen, like, The Ridiculous Six or Hubie Halloween or things like that. And for that, I apologize. You missed out. But going to see Adam Sandler tonight, I would assume it's similar to his Netflix special, the 100% Fresh, with stories, different things like that. And then they also added a special guest. It just says Adam Sandler and special guest, which I would think that would be different people on different stops on the tour. I'm very curious to see who that would be. I would guess maybe a Rob Schneider, maybe, or Spade would be awesome. I'm a big fan of David Spade. But hopefully, fingers crossed, not Kevin James. I'm sorry. Kevin James may be funny to some of you, but maybe you have the same impression of Adam Sandler currently as I did of Kevin James always. He wasn't for me. So, we're going to step inside PPG Paints Arena on a seasonably warm February night to catch Adam Sandler live in concert. And Tom was here.
Hey, how do you like this? I'm Dan Israel, and you're watching Tom Was Here.
Geez, they still haven't fixed the A, and now the T is going. The I is too. Well, we're going to be here a while, kind of standstill traffic at the moment, but let's talk about the Adam Sandler show. Now, bummer and a bit of a disclaimer, and kind of understandably so. They weren't allowing filming of the show. It is a comedy special after all. You know that they're clearly going to make a special out of this for Netflix, most likely. I'm guessing it's part of the deal. Because there was a disclaimer that was running that, you may be filmed, but you can't film. And I get it, you don't want the jokes out there and stuff like that. But at about the tail end of the show, he asks everybody to take out their cell phones for kind of that, for lack of a better term, because I can't think of another one, that Bray Wyatt style, all the lights in the arena coming up. And look, if the Sandman's going to let me take on my cell phone, I'm going to get a little content for me and for the channel. So it was the My Boy Chris Farley song, which is just awesome. It was on his special 100% Fresh, I think is what it was called on Netflix. And it's just an incredible song and a tribute to Chris Farley, who we all know and love. It's just an awesome tribute to him. So it was really cool to be able to take his cell phones and be able to film that. So enjoy My Boy Chris Farley, Adam Sandler from Pittsburgh. And then I'll give you my thoughts on the show at the end of that.
The first time I saw me was sweeter than shit. Plaid jacket and belt too tight, he wasn't even doing a bit. Then he cartwheeled around the room and slow danced with a cleaning lady. He was a one-man party. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my boy Chris Farr. One Saturday night, my man would always deliver. Whether he was the bumblebee girl or living in a van down by the river. He loved the Bears and Decadence and Chippendales with Swayze. When they replaced his coffee with Folgers, he went fucking crazy. The sexiest Gap girl and Meatloaf in the band. Without him there'd be no lunch lady in Lunch Lady Land. You know what I'm thinking about my boy Chris Farley. He'd drink a quart of Jack Daniels, then stick the bottle right up his ass. But hungover as hell, that Catholic boy always showed up to morning mass. We tell him, slow down, you'll end up like Belushi and Candy. He said, those guys are my heroes, that's all fine and dandy. I ain't making that shit up, that's the truth about my boy Chris Farley. Saw him in the office crying with his headphones on, listening to a KC and the Sunshine Band song. I said, buddy, what the hell is making you so sad? Then he laughed and said, just thinking about my dad. Last big hang we had was at Timmy Meadows' wedding party. We laughed our balls off all night long, all because of Farley. But a few months later the party came to an end. We flew out to Madison to bury our friend. Nothing was harder than saying goodbye, except watching Chris's father of his turn to cry. Hey buddy, life's moved on, but you still bring us so much joy. Make my kids laugh with your YouTube clips, or Tommy Boy. Yeah, when they ask me who's the funniest guy I ever knew, I tell them hands down without a doubt it's you. Yeah, I miss hanging out, watching you try to get laid, but most of all I miss watching you fuck with Spade. You're a legend like you wanted, but I still wish you were here with me. And you and I and Noah were getting ready to go shoot Grown-Ups 3. Yeah, life ain't the same without you boys. That's why I'm singing about my friend Chris Farley. Farley. And if we make enough noise, maybe he'll hear us. Give it up for the great Chris
Okay, Adam Sandler, Pittsburgh show. You know, he hasn't played Pittsburgh in a long while. He was doing that tour a few years back that I would have loved to have gone to, where it was him and Snyder and Spade, and I think even like Chris Rock was on certain aspects of that tour. Kevin Nealon was on, certain tour dates and stuff. And yeah, I mean, just an incredible lineup, but they never went to Pittsburgh. And so, I knew when he was coming to Pittsburgh that I was going to have to, go see the show. And I'm glad I did. You kind of forget, when you see things like Hubie Halloween and other shit like that, you kind of forget how good Sandler actually is. So yeah, the thing I haven't listened to in a long time is They're All Gonna Laugh at You and some of the other CDs, and that's kind of what the show it is you're getting. You're not getting, Hubie Halloween Adam Sandler. You're getting Adam Sandler, the GOAT Adam Sandler. And I don't mean the GOAT like greatest of all time. I get that's an overplayed thing, but you're getting like the GOAT, the original GOAT, the talking GOAT. So yeah, I mean, you're getting that level of humor. Dirty, definitely a raunchier show, definitely a not, I would say under the age of 13 type show. It's definitely an adult themed show, which some of you who've seen these kind of goofy Adam Sandler comedies may be surprised by that, akin to like a Bob Saget and other people that were like the dirtiest comics ever, but they had a nice squeaky clean image outside. But with Sandler, it's a little bit more gray. Because he's done some adult themed stuff and some dramas and things like that, but for those kids of the 90s that remember CDs like They're All Gonna Laugh at You, then you kind of had an idea of what you're getting. But to be honest, I hadn't listened to those in a while, so I was pleasantly surprised to get a show like this, which I thought was great. A lot of his new songs, because he did a ton of songs tonight, but a lot of his new songs were kind of like more for like a punchline. Like they weren't like actual song. Like the Farley song is an actual song, but a lot of them were just like kind of songs that kind of like led to like a punchline. And I could really see this show being almost like a sketch show, kind of like I Think You Should Leave, style, where some of his premises were so over the top and just wild that if it played out in like almost like an animated show or like certain like a skits that would appear, man, that would be hilarious. Some of these concepts were just so weird and wacky, but yet they all, it's funny. The dude's funny. And, he kind of started off at what I felt was like a little stiff. But, I don't know if that's just him getting into it. But by the end, he was as advertised. The best that you want Adam Sandler to be. He was incredible. And yeah, I was worried in the opening. I said, hopefully it's not Kevin James. It was Rob Schneider. And Rob Schneider did a pretty good job as the opener. Although I found out after the fact that in Cincinnati a couple nights ago, they had Rob Schneider, but they also had Chris Rock. We did not get a Chris Rock sighting, but it was Schneider did a great job, and Sandler was amazing. Like I said, it was an incredible show. But yeah, I would love to see this play out kind of like a sketch show. It'd be cool if they were able to do that, but I can understand if they wanted to just leave it as the kind of like tour video where they just showed like highlights from several stops. But all in all, it's kind of one of those like bucket list things. You see someone, you're like somebody you've kind of watched for so many years. Keep in mind, like when he was on SNL, which was in my wheelhouse, one of my favorite SNL casts of all time was Sandler, Spade, Farley, Carvey, Myers, Phil Hartman, Tim Meadow. I mean, all of them were terrific. That was the wheelhouse, Norm, Norm, of course, a little tribute to Norm and that Farley, I think they added. Although I feel like maybe it wasn't in the original. Maybe he added it in, but still, little nice tribute to Norm. I would like a Norm song. I miss Norm so much. He was one of my favorites of all time. And wouldn't that have been incredible if Norm was able to be then the opening act? That one big regret is that I never got to see Norm Macdonald live. But thrilled I was able to get to see Adam Sandler live. He joins kind of these lists of like true greats of what we have currently of Sandler and Chris Rock and Chappelle and George Carlin, and these people that I thankfully was able to see, at least one time in my life. So let me know your thoughts on the Adam Sandler concert experience. Did you watch the Netflix special? Did you check out, were you raised on kind of the CDs and the movies of Sandler, the good movies of Sandler? But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But that'll do it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you are new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Like support me on Patreon like John Bailey did. You can do so. Link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt, a Tomwashere t-shirt, you can do so at Spreadshirt, as well as links to my eBay store, Facebook page, Instagram, Clubhouse, and the Pennsylvania Autograph Collectors Association. Links are in the description below. But when it comes to Adam Sandler live in Pittsburgh, I can officially say that my name is Tom and I was here. Thanks for watching, like, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.